my name is Hi, my name is Ethony, and I'm your friendly neighborhood witch. And I also love astrology, and you all know I'm obsessed with tarot. Obviously, this list is just my opinion, and if you hate the deck I suggest for your zodiac sign, sorry, not sorry, but you know, there are like literally thousands of decks out there that you can go and pick for yourself. I'm not mad about that, so you shouldn't be either. If you are under the zodiac sign of Aries, you are fiery, you are passionate, you do not have any problems facing issues head on. And man, will you ever dig your heels in and butt heads with people, and you will stand up for what you believe in. So I've picked for you the Broken Mirror Tarot. So this is the 4th edition. It is Art Deco and stained glass. Now the reason why I chose this deck is because of its design element. Aries have a bit of a tendency to go after what they want. They're not afraid to shake things up, and they will in fact fracture something or completely smash something in order to get a breakthrough, get ahead, and not in a mean way. Sometimes the status quo needs to be interrupted, but the Broken Mirror Tarot not only gives you an opportunity to smash things that need to be maybe broken down and rebuilt, but also to reflect on the things that may be broken in your life, or that your psyche, or that maybe you're trampling over and not paying attention to. And this is the 4th edition, and I've chosen this for your tarot deck. It's also beautiful, and those hollow edges are gorge. If you are under the zodiac sign of Taurus, you are gentle, you are a nurturer. Look, you're ruled by Venus. You just want all the luxury, give you all of the beautiful silks and gorgeous food and decadent wines. You're all about that lifestyle. You want to be hugged, you like comfy sweaters. You are also wicked stubborn, but not in necessarily the worst way, because you're going to be really loyal, but change ain't your Jimmy Jams. You're not into that at all. But slowly but surely you will accept it. And that is the reason why I have chosen the Herbal Tarot for you. This deck will sit in your real need for tradition, with the Rider-Waite-Smith being the backbones and the archetype of this deck, but it also has a lot of plant magic and herbal magic in it. So not only are you going to enjoy getting to know the different tarot cards, you're going to really love that it's probably connecting you with your earth mother, father, he's, she's, we's, they's, yous, me's. People who love to get their hands dirty in the ground. You're going to learn a lot about herbal law. It's going to give you something to study. I'm sure many Tauruses are very into earth magic, green magic, kitchen witchery, hedge magic, and this is completely perfect for those people. If you, like me, sit under the zodiac sign of Gemini, I mean, we are pretty fantastic. We're adaptable, we are witty, and we can think very quickly on our feet, and we have the power of communication. And I have chosen for us the Tarot of Mystical Moments. And the reason why I've done this is because it's a little out there, but out there in the right way. You are probably someone who picks up things very quickly, especially symbolic languages. And tarot is probably something you feel really drawn to anyway. And through the Tarot of the Mystic Moments, you're going to see new interpretations, different symbols, beautiful layering, lots of very dreamy, etheric, gorgeous views and conversations in this deck. Plus, look at the twinsies on the cover. I mean, how could I not choose this as a Gemini deck? I really adore it. It's very, I don't know, it really is very mystical. I'm not always a fan of a lot of digital collage decks, but this one is done exquisitely, and I even have the Oracle deck, and I love both of them. If you sit under the zodiac sign of Cancer, you are emotional. You can be a little guarded. You tend to hide those emotions and only let a few people in. But when you get to your squishy center, that's when people really find out that you really are a big teddy bear. You also care very deeply about other people. You tend to pick up a lot on vibrations and energy, and you're very intuitive. And for this reason, I have picked the Shadowscapes Tarot. Now, I don't have the box to this one because this one is a working deck of mine. This is the most dreamy, beautiful artwork. Stephanie Law has done just an incredible job. I have been saying how badly I want Llewellyn to bring out a larger version of this deck so you can really spend time looking at those incredible details that she puts into her art. Cancerians, I believe, would really appreciate that because it's going to allow you to go into the cards. It's going to allow you to feel into all those watery colors, all those landscapes of beautiful animals and magical creatures, and of course people. And it really is just a deck that you can just look in and be lost in this beautiful dreamscape, and that's why I've chosen that for Cancer. If you shine under the sign of Leo, you are fiery, you are not afraid of a little or a lot of attention, and apparently you're loyal, but no one ever gave the Leos that I know, especially the ones that I've dated, that footnote. But the friends I've had as Leos are very loyal. But once you cross them, bridge burned, back off, don't ever want to speak to you again, get out of here. And one of the wonderful things I love about the Leos in my life is they are not afraid to tell you what is going on. They're very upfront. And for that reason, I have given you the beautiful Bonefire Tarot. Now, I have always said this tarot is one of the kind of decks that gives you a friendly bitch slap. It'll definitely tell you you need to sort your shit out, you need to work on your boundaries, like a situation is no good for you, you know it's no good for you and you need to move on. It is freaking exquisite because Gabby Angus West does the most beautiful art. I have said this a number of times about the Bonefire Tarot. I had the indie version when it first came out many years ago. I think it was like 2014 or 2015 from Gabby. I have her oracle decks. I have all of her stuff. She's amazing and you really feel that power through her art. I wonder if she's a Leo. I'd really like to know actually. But that's why I picked this deck, is because I really feel like it suffers no fools, and neither do the Leos I know. If you are under the meticulous sign of Virgo, you are hardworking, you pay attention to detail, you're very logical, and usually very studious, like you love to learn. And that is why I am giving you this Spirit Keepers Tarot. Not only has Annabelle Wen, who we all know is just like a tarot god, well, goddess really, let's be honest. Isn't that my title? We can share, I love you, you know that so much anyway. Not only are you going to have enough to work with in regards to this deck alone, Annabelle's supplementary information for the deck, like the course, the 22 weeks, the little white book, which is not little at all, it's so fucking huge, is going to keep your analytical mind going for so long. There is so much to learn in this, like the I Ching, there's Kabbalah, there's the Thoth system, there's the Rider-Waite, there's a whole bunch of symbology. You're basically going to be working with this until you want to stop. It's one of the reasons why I gave you the Spirit Keepers Tarot. And let me tell you, I thought I'd lost this version of the Spirit Keepers Tarot, and I had a mild heart attack, figuratively speaking, but I found it when I cleaned a whole bunch of my tarot decks out, and yay, thank goodness. And I also have the Vitruvian 3rd edition as well, but I've given you the original if you have that or any of the versions of the Spirit Keepers Tarot. If you are a Libra, you like balance, you love relationships, and there is nothing more that you want in life than like tranquility and unity and being part of community. And you really just love those interconnectedness sort of sides of life. So I've given you the Light Seers Tarot. And for that, I believe that you will not only be really drawn to this deck, hashtag, I don't know anyone who doesn't love this deck. If you know anyone who doesn't love this deck, you know, let me know, because I have yet to come across somebody. This deck is really about shining that inner light, which I really believe is very important for Libras. I feel like a Libra would use this deck to promote beautiful relationships with each other, and also the self, and that union and that balance within, that darkness and light and the shadow coming forth and being integrated. And I just think it's a perfect deck for any Libra who's wanting to balance themselves or help someone else balance themselves as well in their work. If you are an intense Scorpio, you are very drawn to a lot of things that are taboo, but you love breaking down those barriers that keep people from really exploring those things in life. You are deep, You are sexy and sensual, but you're also a little dangerous. And for that reason, I have given you the Marigold Tarot. It is very death-centric, and I think that's something that everyone that is born under the sun sign of Scorpio, which is connected to death, sex, transformation, and the planet of Pluto, I believe, off the top of my head, is going to really love the Marigold Tarot. It's freaking gorgeous. It is really just so stunning. People are very intrinsically drawn to this deck. I've found that people really love it. They very much respond to the artwork because I think it speaks to that part of ourselves that wants to explore those areas. I believe that the Scorpios will be really drawn to just how to the fact and to the matter this deck is, and really love working with it. So that's why I've given you the Marigold Tarot. If you are born under the sign of Sagittarius, you are the seeker. You are the archer. You pull back the arrow and you fling it forward or release it forward. Usually Sagittarius are the ones who think big picture and want to move the universe forward. And for that reason, I have got the Next World Tarot as your deck. This deck is political. This deck talks about aspects of leadership, representation, busting out of the mold in a lot of different ways. It is a beautiful piece of modern art through the symbology and format of the tarot. It's very, very cool. This is the indie deck. I believe that there is a mass market version of this deck, but this is the one I got from Kickstarter. Sagittarius is very altruistic. They seek freedom and they are not one to want to stifle anybody's opinions or their beliefs. They're very artistic. Anyone who sits with a Sagittarius who's reading with this deck is really going to love how they interpret the cards and view it, and how they are helped to see things in a new way. If you were born under the sun sign of Capricorn, you are practical, you're very down to earth, you're very loyal, and you're very good at working with material matters. And that is why I have given you the Gaian Tarot. This is a stunning deck. The artwork in this deck alone is just beautiful. It gives you some tradition, but also mixes it with the elements, and it's very tactile. It's something that Capricorns really like. They want to be able to touch something, and by working through the elements, you're doing just that with the tarot. It has beautiful representation, and I'm sure every Capricorn is going to be able to see someone in their life or even themselves in this deck represented. It's a beautiful, stunning piece of work. Capricorns are also very disciplined and they're very patient, and so is nature. And not only is nature very patient, but learning a new system and expanding the way in which you see the tarot is also something that requires discipline and patience. And this is why I have given you the Gaian Tarot, because there's a lot to learn in this deck above and beyond the traditional tarot. If you are born under the sign of the eccentric Aquarius, you are very interesting. Every Aquarius is now gonna read me for filth in the fucking comment section. I found a lot of Aquariuses to be very interested in higher learning, higher spiritual learning. They don't always have their feet on the ground, but they are really going to give you some perspectives that you've never thought of before. And I have given you the Star Spinner Tarot, and that is because not only do you have a very deep connection to spirituality and the stars, but you are also a little non-traditional, and this deck is non-traditional and it gives a number of different options. So for example, this deck has multiple lovers cards to reflect a range of romantic expression and illustrations drawn from stories, myths, and fairy tales. And I feel like that is perfect for every Aquarius. You're going to be able to work with these well-known archetypes and these well-known symbols, but really put your own spin on it. And it's just this really gorgeous kind of dreamy, etheric deck. And that's what Aquarius is all about. They just want to get into the deep philosophical conversations and how we're going to change the world, and poetry and myths, and this is just perfect for the Aquarius in your life. And last but certainly not least, if you are born under the dreamy sun sign of Pisces, I have given you the Mystical Dreamers Tarot. Now this again is a working deck, so we don't have the box for it anymore. I have given you this deck because it is really about that dream space, and Pisces are said to be one of the most psychic signs in the zodiac, and they're really able to get into their intuitive waters and speak on it very, very clearly. This deck is called the Mystic Dreamers Tarot after all. There is a moon in nearly every single card as well. Pisces is ruled by the moon. The tides, the ebb, the flow, the emotion, the psychic, the illuminated, the dream space of the moon. And that is why I chose this deck for you. I believe this deck would be really good for dream interpretation readings. And that is something that you can work with the moon energy and also Pisces energy. Do you already own the deck I suggested for your zodiac sign in this video? Gosh, I hope so. Let me know in the comments below if I was accurate for your sign. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't already, get all your friends to come and drop on by, and I'll see you all next time.